The Metaphysics of Chesterton. Chesterton was a man of few ideas, made expansive by a gorgeous imagination and a complete and accurate set of moral sympathies. He said the same things over and over again, but in so many different ways, and loved the same things over and over again, but from so many different angles, that he never found it needful to create a brave new world in order to be either courageous or original. In person, Chesterton was a large man, who was something of a strain on his clothes. Tidiness he persistently ignored in favor of comfort. Everyone who got near him was tempted to rearrange him, or at least to giving thought as to how it could be done. Eventually, Chesterton gave up the idea of expecting to be held together in ordinary attire by ordinary threads and buttons, and went around wearing a cloak. The simplicity with which one could secure a sort of stylish seclusion by the tying of a single knot or the fastening of a single hook appealed to Chesterton. A cloak was a garment calculated to reveal not how he was fashioned, but where he was to be found. In point of kindliness, Chesterton had one of the biggest hearts that has ever lived, and yet I am told the doctors found it undersized physically when they examined him in one of his illnesses. Nothing daunted, he went right on using what share of heart he had, to love the world largely and lavishly until the hour of his death. This is what is known as a paradox. When Chesterton stood up, he was impressive, but it was even more marvelous to watch him sit down. He sat down with an air of supreme humility, as if totally collapsing in the arms of God. In the difficult assignment of being both huge and human, he needed lots of support. Once seated, he would doze and dream a great deal, and seemed constantly distracted by the incessant rush of his own thoughts. As humility was Chesterton's outstanding moral virtue, so what he chose to call sanity was what he wanted most for the mind. He was far too humble to suppose that one could appropriate sanity as an assured possession without offering plenty of credentials, and so he undertook to outline what he meant by sanity, perhaps more carefully than any man of his generation. One of his contemporaries, George Bernard Shaw, said sanity was the specialty of the Superman. This pseudo-preternaturalism annoyed Chesterton, and his reply was devastating. Shaw criticizes human nature, he said, as though he himself did not possess it. Another contemporary, H.G. Wells, offered hope that sanity might blossom in some brain of the future. Chesterton was quick to analyze this mixture of biology and guesswork masquerading as prophecy, and he exposed it to relentless ridicule. In the end, he made more of a monkey out of Wells than evolution ever had. The sanity which interested and indeed fascinated Chesterton was the sanity which has already occurred in the world, whose proof is in tradition, whose roots are in the past, whose record is in history. That welter of things, which men of all times have accepted as lovable and true, he labeled orthodoxy. Of this orthodoxy, he was prepared to act as defendant. He did so in 102 books, writing as many as 8 in a single year. He felt orthodoxy to be a cause to which one should be loyal. He called it the flag of the world. He thought laughter was a good air in which to float the flag of the world. He conceived laughter as something more than a human roar that went rollicking up to the skies. He believed it to be a divine delight that had descended to earth and was shaking it. He was prepared to trace its tremors everywhere, and said its source was in the mirth of God. When criticized on this and other points for not being serious, he made his brilliant and never-to-be-forgotten distinction between the serious and the solemn man.